Hello everyone, welcome to Sleepy Sage's Science Diary. I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you've just had a long day, or maybe you're the kind of one who never falls asleep by counting sheep, but by immersing yourself in deep thoughts and the mysteries of the cosmos, letting your thoughts drift freely. Either way, tonight's journey is for you. All you need to do is relax, let your mind soften gradually. Your breath slow down little by little, and your body grow light, as if even gravity itself has turned gentle. Next, we'll explore together. Is it possible that aliens are actually us, ourselves? Is it possible that we were never truly a product of Earth? Think about it. Earth only formed 4.5 billion years ago, yet within just 600 million years, life had already appeared. That pace is almost as if someone flipped a cheat code unnaturally fast. The real answer may lie hidden deep in the cosmos. So today, we must confront a question that perhaps should never even be voiced. Could humanity itself be the descendant of an alien civilization? Because if the answer is yes, then all of our assumptions about origins collapse instantly. Imagine shaking a box filled with random electronic parts for 600 million years, hoping to assemble a fully functioning smartphone. That is how absurdly unlikely the emergence of life on Earth seems. When Earth finally cooled enough to support liquid water, in what was essentially an instant on cosmic scales, complex molecules somehow self-organized into self-replicating systems. They were no longer just inert chains of atoms, but nearly impossible, precision-engineered biological machines. But if we look at the timeline, the problem becomes even more bizarre. Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago, and for the first 800 million years, it was a hellish molten inferno, constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets, with surface temperatures reaching 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Life seemed impossible. Yet by 3.8 billion years ago, we already find evidence of complex microbes in fossils. That means life took only about 600 million years to leap from bare rock to living organisms. Even Darwin himself admitted this pace was unnaturally fast, what he called the warm little pond problem. He understood that natural selection ought to require immense timescales to produce even the simplest life. Yet on Earth, life seemed to appear almost the moment conditions allowed it. And what's more, even the most basic bacteria contain about 4 million components working in harmony, from DNA and RNA to proteins, membranes, and energy systems. It's as if a Boeing 747 suddenly appeared, fully assembled, in a junkyard. Scientists have tried to recreate this miracle in the lab. They mixed chemicals, simulated lightning discharges, and managed to produce only simple amino acids. Still, the leap to a real living cell remains an unbridgeable gulf. To this day, the transition from chemistry to biology is an unsolved mystery. So, could it be that life did not begin on Earth at all, but instead arrived fully formed? Could it be a cosmic inheritance, seeded by a civilization that solved the riddle of life billions of years before our solar system even existed? It sounds like science fiction, but evidence is piling up. NASA has already found organic compounds scattered across the galaxy. The European Space Agency has detected complex molecules in interstellar clouds. The building blocks of life are not rare. They're nearly everywhere. Thus arose the theory of Panspermia, that life, like seeds carried by the wind, spreads across the universe. Some land on barren worlds and wither, others fall on fertile planets and take root. From this perspective, Earth is not the birthplace of life, but merely another patch of soil where cosmic seeds sprouted. If this is true, then all of Earth's life, including us, might carry genes that predate Earth itself. Even more astonishing evidence comes from meteorites. Every day, Earth is bombarded by hundreds of tons of space debris. Most of it burns up in the atmosphere as meteors, but some survive and land intact. When scientists cut them open, expecting only metal and rock, they found shocking secrets inside. In 1969, the Murchison meteorite fell in Australia and revealed the impossible: amino acids. Not just one or two, but 74 varieties, many of which do not exist naturally on Earth. Their chemical signatures showed they were not of terrestrial origin, but formed in deep space. Remember, amino acids are the Lego bricks of life. Hemoglobin in your blood and the enzymes that help you digest food are all assembled from them. Finding them inside a meteorite was like the universe delivering a ready-made kit for building life. And this was no isolated case. The Allende meteorite in Mexico contained the bases of DNA and RNA. The Murray meteorite had sugars, which formed the backbone of genetic material. The carbonaceous chondrites carried lipids, the essential building blocks of cell membranes. Even more staggering, some of these meteorites are older than our solar system itself. They formed in stellar nurseries billions of years before Earth and have been drifting through space ever since, carrying biological cargo like cosmic messages in a bottle from vanished civilizations. Microscopic analysis even found structures resembling fossilized bacteria inside meteorites. These were not random minerals, but objects with cell-like shapes, sizes, and internal features, clear imprints of life turned to stone. The most famous example was the ALH 84001 meteorite from Mars. In 1996, NASA scientists announced it contained traces of ancient life, sparking worldwide debate. Why did it cause such a stir? Because if meteorites can repeatedly ferry organics and microbes between planets, then life is not an accident. It becomes a cosmic delivery system seeding Earth, Mars, Venus, and even the moons of Jupiter and Saturn with the same biological packages. And crucially, this system is still operating today. Every meteor shower, Perseids, Geminids, Leonids, may be more than just a celestial show. Each streak of light could be planting new molecules into our atmosphere. Some scientists even suggest that Earth's early period of catastrophic asteroid bombardment was not merely destruction, but the opening move of life's beginning. On the surface, it looked like devastation, but behind it was seeding. But if life did arrive this way, it had to meet one condition: survival in space. Space is the ultimate hell. No air, no water, temperatures swinging from 250 degrees Celsius to plus 250 degrees Celsius, and radiation so intense it kills humans in seconds. Could life endure that? Astonishingly, experiments say yes. Scientists exposed bacteria samples directly outside the International Space Station. Not only did they survive, they reproduced afterward. Even stranger, a microbe called Deinococcus radiodurans, nicknamed Conan the bacterium, can withstand 3,000 times the lethal dose of radiation for humans. Its DNA can be shattered and then stitched back together by some unknown mechanism. And then there are the tardigrades, or water bears. Under a microscope, they look like tiny bears with 8 legs. They can switch off their bodies, entering a cryptobiotic state neither alive nor dead, allowing them to resist nearly anything. At 458 degrees Fahrenheit, they survive. At 300 degrees Fahrenheit, they survive. Under pressures 6 times greater than the Mariana Trench, they survive. Exposed to radiation thousands of times beyond human limits, they survive. Scientists even left them in the vacuum of space for 10 days. When brought back, 70% revived. eating and reproducing as if nothing had happened. What does this tell us? That life is far tougher than we ever imagined. Its boundaries stretch far beyond Earth. Bacteria thrive in nuclear reactors, in boiling acid pools, and in Antarctic ice frozen for millions of years. So the question becomes, if life here is this resilient, what kinds of creatures might arise on planets and moons with even more extreme conditions? Worlds orbiting dying stars, moons bathed in radiation, or oceans hidden under ice sheets. Life may not only survive there, it may flourish. And this radically changes how we see evolution. Fossil records suggest life didn't evolve slowly step by step. Instead, complex organisms seem to appear suddenly, fully formed, without clear ancestral transitions. Darwin himself admitted this was the most serious objection to his theory. The fossil record shows bursts of complexity like the Cambrian explosion 540 million years ago. For 3 billion years, Earth hosted only simple cells. Then, within just 25 million years, a geological instant, nearly all major animal groups appeared at once. With eyes, nervous systems, shells, and hunting strategies, trilobites had compound eyes with 15,000 lenses more advanced than many insects today. Sea scorpions stretched 6 feet long. These were apex predators the moment they arrived. But where were their ancestors? Fossil beds reveal a great void, the Cambrian gap, and this pattern repeats. Birds, suddenly, in the Jurassic, flowering plants in the Cretaceous, mammals after the dinosaurs' extinction. Always sudden, always lacking gradual transitions. Genetic evidence deepens the mystery. Key genes for eyes or photosynthesis appear almost fully formed across unrelated species, as though they shared a common source code. Could these be signs, not of local evolution, but of repeated colonization events, waves of biological arrivals from the cosmos? This is where Panspermia theory offers another possibility. What if these sudden appearances of life were not results of local evolution, but repeated colonization events? In other words, the universe did not just send us simple molecules, but fully encoded genetic blueprints. If Earth has been receiving biological deliveries for billions of years, we should be able to find evidence. Where? In the stars themselves. In the frigid depths of interstellar space, where atoms nearly freeze, something extraordinary happens. Enormous dust clouds spontaneously assemble complex organic molecules across light-years of distance. Radio telescopes have already detected more than 200 organic compounds in space, many essential for life. Take the Eagle Nebula, 7,000 light-years away, where enough organic material exists to seed millions of planets. Or the Orion Nebula, producing trillions of alcohol molecules every second, along with sugars, amino acids, and even more complex structures. These stellar nurseries are not just making stars, they are factories of biochemistry. And when dust clouds collapse into new stars and planets, all these molecules are packaged into comets, asteroids, and atmospheres. In other words, the universe acts like a 3D printer for life's ingredients, distributing them across the galaxy. Our own solar system was forged from such material. That's why early meteorites are filled with organics. It's not chance, it's inevitability. But is there direct evidence that these molecules reached Earth and ignited life? In 1976, NASA's Viking 1 lander touched down on Mars and performed experiments that still stir debate today. One was the labeled release experiment. Simple logic: mix Martian soil with nutrient solution containing radioactive carbon. If microbes were present, they would metabolize the nutrients and release radioactive CO2. Shockingly, the instruments detected an immediate surge patterns identical to biological metabolism. When the sample was heated to sterilize microbes, the reaction stopped instantly. Dr. Gilbert Levin, who designed the test, was convinced. Viking had found life, but NASA hesitated. Another instrument failed to detect organic molecules, so officials dismissed it as a strange chemical reaction. But the gas curves Viking measured looked exactly like microbial respiration: fast rise, slow decay. Today, with what we know about extremophiles, the debate has resurfaced. Life survives in places far harsher than Mars' Antarctic ice, volcanic acid pools, even radioactive zones. If Earth organisms can endure, why not Martian ones? Especially since surface radiation may have destroyed organics, leaving clues buried deeper underground beyond Viking's reach. If true, Earth and Mars may share the same cosmic seed. The ultimate proof may lie in life's universal genetic code. Every organism on Earth, from bacteria to whales, uses the same language of DNA, built from 4 letters, A, T, G, C. These combine into 64 codons, but code for only 20 amino acids. This redundancy acts like an error-correcting system. Even when mutations occur, proteins still function. The efficiency is staggering, like discovering your random password was secretly designed by expert cryptographers. Computer simulations show millions of possible genetic codes could exist. Yet Earth's code is the most robust against mutations by chance. Probability is nearly 0. Some researchers have even found mathematical patterns hidden in DNA Fibonacci sequences, prime numbers, constants suggesting deliberate encoding. If true, DNA may carry not only biology, but a cosmic signature, a message left by intelligence. Strangely, this universal code was fixed very early in Earth's history, precisely when the planet was bombarded by comets and asteroids. Was this a coincidence or deliberate seeding? And DNA has another feature. It compresses massive amounts of information into microscopic space, resistant to radiation and heat. It's the perfect medium for long-distance interstellar delivery. Even more puzzling, all Earth life shares this exact code. If life had arisen multiple times independently, we should see multiple genetic languages. Instead, there is one. This strongly points to a single shared origin. If that origin carried intelligence's imprint, then life may not be accidental at all. Clues may also lie on Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. Beneath 15 miles of frozen crust lies an ocean larger than all of Earth's seas combined. At first glance, it seems lifeless. 500 million miles from the sun, 260 degrees Fahrenheit on the surface, barely any light. But tidal heating keeps its subsurface oceans liquid for billions of years. And wherever there is water, life is possible. Even more stunning, Europa's surface erupts with plumes of water hundreds of miles high. The Hubble telescope found their composition almost identical to Earth's oceans. Even the isotope ratios matched, like a fingerprint. Could they share a common origin? If so, Europa might not only host ecosystems, but also eject life into space. Each plume could launch microbes across the solar system, some perhaps reaching Earth during the heavy bombardment era, exactly when life here suddenly advanced. NASA's upcoming Europa Clipper mission will test this, sampling plumes for organic molecules and even biosignatures. If Earth and Europa share life, then our genetic code is not unique, it is cosmic. Now consider evolution's leaps again. 66 million years ago, the Chicxulub asteroid ended the dinosaurs. 3/4 of species vanished. Yet instead of decline, life exploded with diversity. Mammals, once tiny and hidden, flourished into thousands of new species. Flowering plants thrived. This pattern repeated across history. Each extinction was followed by bursts of innovation. Could cosmic impacts act as reset buttons, wiping slates clean, then seeding new possibilities? Impact craters show long-lasting hydrothermal systems ideal for microbes. Some meteorites' interiors, shielded from heat, may even have carried survivors. This looks less like random chance, more like a biological delivery system. Destroy, reset, reseed. The strangest evidence may come from creatures already among us. Take tardigrades again. Their survival abilities far exceed Earth's needs. Why evolve skills for vacuum and radiation unless they or their ancestors once faced such conditions? Genetic studies reveal 20% of tardigrade genes don't match any known Earth lineage, as if borrowed from elsewhere. Were they seeded here as ancient survivors, carrying not just themselves but whole ecosystems of microbes within? And then there are comets. Unlike asteroids, comets preserve pristine early solar material. ESA's Rosetta mission to Comet 67P found 16 amino acids, including glycine, plus sugars, and even cell membrane-like structures. Not random clutter organized biochemistry, like life's half-assembled toolkit. With trillions of comets in the Oort cloud, the delivery scale is astronomical. Each pass through the inner solar system could shower Earth with biomolecules. Strikingly, the timing of comet bombardments aligns with evolutionary leaps in Earth's fossil record. Even more, comets may host liquid water inside, heated by radioactive decay for millions of years, miniature laboratories for life. Could they have incubated microbes and delivered them here? If so, Earth's biosphere is not isolated. It is part of a galactic network. This ties directly to the Fermi Paradox. If the galaxy is full of habitable worlds, where is everyone? Traditional answers are grim civilizations, self-destruct, or never reach interstellar travel. But Panspermia offers another. Maybe we are the aliens. Imagine, ancient civilizations facing doom chose not extinction, but reproduction. They encoded their legacy into DNA perfectly robust, error-tolerant, designed to thrive under cosmic radiation. They launched billions of microscopic couriers across the stars. Some landed here billions of years ago. We are their descendants. In this view, Earth was not chosen by chance, but prepared. The Moon stabilizes our orbit, protecting climate. These coincidences look more like careful setup, so perhaps the reason we don't see aliens is simple. They are not out there. They are inside us. Some scientists even suggest directed panspermia, not random scattering, but intentional delivery by spacecraft. In 1973, Nobel laureate Francis Crick, co-discoverer of DNA's structure, proposed Earth's life was deliberately seeded by extraterrestrials. He argued life's complexity was too great for Earth's short timeline. A single bacterium has 4 million parts, like a 747 appearing fully built in a junkyard. Probability alone fails. But if life was engineered and sent here, the paradox dissolves. Today, with gene editing and synthetic biology, humans ourselves are approaching this capability, encoding information into DNA, designing self-replicating nanomachines. If we can imagine it after a few decades of science, what could million-year-old civilizations achieve? Perhaps Earth's entire biosphere is the outcome of such a project. Even Earth's atmosphere may show fingerprints of design. Around 2.5 billion years ago, the Great Oxidation Event transformed the planet. Oxygen skyrocketed from near zero to 21% in just a few 100 million years, a blink in geological time. Traditional theory blames cyanobacteria, but models show natural accumulation would take 10 billion years, far too long. Yet fossil cyanobacteria already had fully developed photosynthesis, two coordinated light systems, complex molecular machinery, no transitional forms. It's like finding a modern microchip in Stone Age ruins. Even more suspicious, the timing coincided with intense asteroid bombardment. Could impacts have introduced engineered organisms designed to terraform Earth's atmosphere? Supporting this, microbes today still thrive in boiling springs, acidic lakes, and deep-sea vents, extremes resembling early Earth. Were they remnants of that intervention? And then there are viruses. Long dismissed as simple parasites, they may instead be genetic archives. Many carry genes unrelated to any Earth organism, orphan genes that encode survival traits under extreme conditions. Viruses also swap DNA across species, bacteria, plants, fungi like a biological courier service. Could viruses be time capsules, preserving ancient genetic instructions, slowly releasing them into new hosts? If so, they may represent a form of cosmic data storage. Sometimes, the evidence literally falls from the sky. In 2001, Kerala, India, experienced the Red Rain. For weeks, crimson rainfall drenched hundreds of square miles. Analysis showed not dust, but mysterious microscopic cells half the size of bacteria, with thick walls and strange internal structures. They resisted heat, radiation, dehydration, yet lacked DNA or RNA. Instead, they appeared to use a novel information molecule. They reproduced by budding, needed no nutrients, and could survive indefinitely, perfect star travelers. Witnesses reported meteor flashes before the rain, suggesting they arrived with micrometeors. If true, Earth may still be receiving extraterrestrial microbes today. Mathematically, panspermia is efficient. Colonizing planets with spacecraft requires colossal energy and millennia of stability. But scattering billions of microbial seeds is cheap, robust, and nearly guaranteed. Even if 99% fail, 1% succeed, and that is enough. Simulations show that in 2 billion years, less than the galaxy's age, life could spread everywhere. Redundancy makes extinction nearly impossible. Even if one system is destroyed, countless others survive. From this perspective, the galaxy's silence is not failure, but success. Life is everywhere but encoded in genes, not radio signals. Perhaps the true alien message is written not in the sky, but in our DNA. This leads to the WOW signal. On the 15th of August 1977, astronomer Jerry Amon detected a 72-second radio burst from Sagittarius at the hydrogen frequency of 1,420 megahertz. It was so precise, he wrote, "Wow," on the printout, yet it never repeated. Why only once? Perhaps it wasn't a communication at all, but a broadcast of biology. Some speculate massive genetic transmissions could leave electromagnetic signatures. DNA replication itself generates measurable fields. If scaled up across trillions of cells, it could emit a detectable signal. What if the WOW signal was not a hello, but a delivery, a burst of encoded biology sent across light years? If so, we may have already intercepted evidence of panspermia but failed to recognize it. So what does this mean for us? If Earth's life was seeded, then we are not isolated accidents. We are the continuation of a galactic legacy. We are walking monuments to civilizations that may no longer exist. Maybe every comet, every meteor, every unexplained signal is the universe whispering, "You are not alone." But the real question is not, where are the aliens? The question is, what role do we play in the universe's script? Are we heirs of a vast memory? Are we seeds planted for wisdom to bloom again? Or are we simply following a program, unable to escape a design older than the stars. When we look up at the silent night sky, perhaps that silence is the answer itself.